Forgiveness is giving up all hope of having had a better past. You own everything that happened to you. Tell your stories. If people wanted you to write warmly about them, they should have behaved better. Joy is the best makeup. You can safely assume you've created God in your own image when it turns out that God hates all the same people you do. Lighthouses don't go running all over an island looking for boats to save. They just stand there shining. A good marriage is where both people feel like they're getting the better end of the deal. I thought such awful thoughts that I cannot even say them out loud because they would make Jesus want to drink gin straight out of the cat dish. Not forgiving is like drinking rat poison and then waiting for the rat to die. You can either practice being right or practice being kind. I do not understand the mystery of grace, only that it meets us where we are and does not leave us where it found us. Laughter is carbonated holiness. No is a complete sentence. You can get the monkey off your back, but the circus never leaves town. Hope is not about proving anything. It's about choosing to believe this one thing, that love is bigger than any grim, bleak shit anyone can throw at us. I don't remember who said this, but there really are places in the heart you don't even know exist until you love a child. Expectations are resentments under construction. Forgiveness means it finally becomes an important that you hit back. You're done. It doesn't necessarily mean that you want to have lunch with the person. If you keep hitting back, you stay trapped in the nightmare. When God is going to do something wonderful, he or she always starts with a hardship. When God is going to do something amazing, he or she starts with an impossibility. It's good to do uncomfortable things. It's weight training for life. Laughter is carbonated holiness. Hope begins in the dark, the stubborn hope that if you just show up and try to do the right thing, the dawn will come. You wait and watch and work. You don't give up. You don't always have to chop with the sword of truth. You can point with it too. Because this business of becoming conscious of being a writer is ultimately about asking yourself, how alive am I willing to be? My mind is a neighborhood I try not to go into alone. Almost all good writing begins with terrible first efforts. You need to start somewhere. Forgiveness means it finally becomes an important that you hit back. The difference between you and God is that God doesn't think he's you. Try looking at your mind as a wayward puppy that you are trying to paper train. You don't drop kick a puppy into the neighbor's yard every time it piddles on the floor. You just keep bringing it back to the newspaper. The road to enlightenment is long and difficult, and you should try not to forget snacks and magazines. I am all the ages I've ever been. We begin to find and become ourselves when we notice how we are already found, already truly, entirely, wildly, messily, marvelously, who we were born to be. My heart was broken and my head was just barely inhabitable. If you want to make God laugh, tell her your plans. She said to go ahead and feel the feelings. I did. They felt like shit. Man is born broken. He lives by mending. The grace of God is glue. My gratitude for good writing is unbounded. I'm grateful for it the way I'm grateful for the ocean. I worry that Jesus drinks himself to sleep when he hears me talk like this. If you have a body, you are entitled to the full range of feelings. It comes with the package. We all know we're going to die. What's important is the kind of men and women we are in the face of this. Don't look at your feet to see if you are doing it right, just dance. I don't think you have time to waste not writing because you are afraid you won't be good at it. Almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you. Perfection is shallow, unreal, and fatally uninteresting. Never compare your insides to everyone else's outsides. I've given guys blowjobs just because I've run out of things to talk about. Oh, Ray, who hasn't? The depth of the feeling continued to surprise and threaten me, but each time it hit again and I bore it, I would discover that it hadn't washed me away. You own everything that happened to you. Tell your stories. If people wanted you to write warmly about them, they should have behaved better. You can tell if people are following Jesus because they are feeding the poor, sharing their wealth, and trying to get everyone medical insurance. It's better to be kind than to be right. I liked those ladies. They were helpers, and they danced. These are the words I want on my gravestone, that I was a helper, and that I danced. Sometimes grace works like water, wings when you feel you are sinking. If you are a writer, or want to be a writer, this is how you spend your days: listening, observing, storing things away, making your isolation pay off. You take home all you've taken in, all that you've overheard, and you turn it into gold, or at least you try. This is one thing they forget to mention in most child-rearing books, that at times you will just lose your mind, period. Bird by bird, buddy, just take it bird by bird. I didn't need to understand the hypostatic unity of the Trinity. I just needed to turn my life over to whoever came up with redwood trees. Certainty is missing the point entirely. But grace can be the experience of a second wind, when even though what you want is clarity and resolution, what you get is stamina and poignancy and the strength to hang on. The thing about light is that it really isn't yours. It's what you gather and shine back, and it gets more power from reflectiveness. If you sit still and take it in, it fills your cup, and then you can give it off yourself. Sometimes this human stuff is slimy and pathetic, but better to feel it and talk about it and walk through it than to spend a lifetime being silently poisoned. The opposite of faith is not doubt, it's certainty. I was reminded of the four immutable laws of the Spirit. Whoever is present are the right people. Whenever it begins is the right time. Whatever happens is the only thing that could have happened. And when it's over, it's over.